He's the face of the Genesis Invitational. His name is on the banner, his picture is everywhere. But when the first tee shot of his own tournament sailed through the California air, Tiger Woods was nowhere to be found. Not on the course, not in the field, not even in the broadcast booth. For the first time since 2020, the man who built this event into one of the most prestigious stops on tour simply vanished. No farewell, no announcement, just a void where a legend used to stand. The golf world is asking one question: what really happened to Tiger Woods? Subscribe for the full story of Tiger's disappearance and the truth behind his silence. Riviera Country Club is buzzing. The 2026 Genesis Invitational is back in Pacific Palisades after last year's forced relocation due to the devastating January 2025 wildfires. The banners are hanging, the galleries are packed, the player field includes Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and 18 of the top 20 golfers in the world. But the man whose name is on the event is missing. Tiger Woods, who has hosted the Genesis Invitational since 2020, is not in the player field. He's not walking the fairways, he's not holding court in the media center, he's simply gone. For a moment, let's appreciate the irony. This is the same course where a 16-year-old Tiger Woods made his PGA Tour debut in 1992, shooting 72, 75 and missing the cut, but planting the seeds of a legend. This is the place where he learned he wasn't ready, then spent the next 3 decades proving everyone wrong. Now, 34 years later, he's the host of the tournament that gave him his first taste of professional golf, and he can't even play in it. The last time Woods competed in any professional event was July 2024 at the Open Championship, where he missed the cut. That's nearly 600 days without a single competitive round. For a man who once defined the sport by his presence, his absence has become deafening. Fans have grown accustomed to Tiger not playing. What they haven't gotten used to is Tiger not being visible at all. He didn't attend the pre-tournament festivities, he wasn't spotted on the range, he didn't do the ceremonial media obligations that come with hosting a PGA Tour event. He simply vanished. Social media erupted with theories. Was he injured again? Had he given up on competitive golf entirely? Was something wrong with his family? The silence from Team Tiger only fueled the speculation. But here's what the casual fan doesn't understand. Tiger hasn't disappeared, he's been hiding in plain sight, and the truth behind his absence is far more complicated than anyone imagined.
To understand why Tiger isn't playing, you have to understand what his body has endured. The timeline reads like a medical textbook written by someone who didn't believe in happy endings. March 2025, Tiger ruptures his left Achilles tendon. Surgery, months of recovery. Just when he thought he was getting back on his feet, another setback. October 2025, disc replacement surgery. The 7th back operation in just over a decade, following a spinal fusion in 2017 that was supposed to fix everything. This wasn't a minor procedure. This was a complete overhaul of a spine that had been held together by metal rods and sheer willpower. December 2025. Finally, progress. Woods gets clearance to resume chipping and putting for the first time since the lumbar disc replacement surgery. After months of barely being able to walk, he can finally hold a club again. January 2026, he's hitting full shots. Not well every day, but I can hit them, he admits. But able to hit full shots is a long way from ready to compete against the best players in the world. Will Zalatoris went through the same disc replacement surgery in May 2025. He's 28. Tiger is 50. It's probably going to take me a little bit longer, Woods acknowledged. The math is brutal. Every day is a negotiation with a body that has become a museum of past glories and their corresponding repairs. A simple morning routine becomes a strategic operation. Swinging a club isn't just about mechanics, It's about whether the back will cooperate, whether the Achilles will hold, whether the leg that was nearly amputated in a 2021 car accident will support the torque of a driver. The Achilles is not an issue, Woods revealed. As far as the disc replacement, it's just sore. It takes time. My body has been through a lot. It's just one of those things where it's each and every day I keep trying, I keep progressing, I keep working on it, trying to get stronger, trying to get more endurance in this body, and trying to get it at a level at which I can play at the highest level again. This is the reality that fans don't see, the hours of physical therapy, the careful monitoring of every sensation, the constant fear that the next swing could undo months of progress. Tiger hasn't disappeared. He's been fighting a war that no one can see, a war against his own body. And the question everyone wants answered is whether that war can ever be won.
The press conference at the Genesis Invitational was supposed to be routine. Tiger Woods sat behind the microphone, fielding questions about tournament logistics, sponsorship renewals, and the endless boardroom battles that now consume more of his time than golf ever did. Then, a reporter toward the back raised his hand and asked the question everyone was thinking but no one expected to hear answered. "Is the Masters off the table for you?" The room shifted. Cameras zoomed in. Reporters who had been half listening suddenly sat upright. Tiger leaned into the microphone, and for a beat, just one beat, the man who has spent 30 years mastering the art of saying nothing let a small smile play at the corner of his mouth. No. One word, one syllable, and in that moment, the entire narrative of the 2026 season changed. The room erupted into chaos. Follow-up questions flew from every direction. Tiger held up a hand, the same gesture he's used for decades to quiet galleries, and the room settled just enough for him to continue. "I'm trying, put it that way," he added, his voice measured, careful. "The disc replacement has been one thing. It's been a challenge. I've had a fused back and now a disc replacement, so it's challenging. I entered a new decade, so that number is starting to sink in." He was talking about turning 50, about a body that has survived more than most bodies could imagine. 7 back surgeries, a ruptured Achilles, a fused spine now replaced with a disc that's still healing. But the word that echoed through every headline, every news report, every golf forum for the next 48 hours was that single syllable: no. The Masters was not off the table. "I'm able to hit full shots," he continued, anticipating the next question. "Not well every day, but I can hit them." For a man who hasn't competed since the 2024 Open at Royal Troon, who missed the entire 2025 season recovering from one surgery after another, who turned 50 and watched his son Charlie commit to Florida State while he could only practice in slow motion, this was as close to a declaration as Tiger Woods ever gives. The golf world went into overdrive. Augusta National, the course where Tiger has won 5 green jackets, where he shocked the world in 2019 with a comeback that seemed pulled from a movie script, was suddenly back in play. But here's the part that everyone missed in the excitement. Tiger didn't say he was playing, he said he was trying. There's a universe of difference between those two statements, and the road from trying to teeing it up is paved with obstacles that no amount of hope can remove. So, if Tiger isn't playing, what is he actually doing? The answer might surprise you. While fans were scanning leaderboards looking for a familiar name, Tiger Woods has been quietly reshaping the future of professional golf from inside boardrooms and Zoom calls. The man who once dominated fairways now dominates strategy sessions. "I thought I spent a lot of hours practicing in my prime. It doesn't come close to what we've done in the boardroom," Woods revealed. As chairman of the PGA Tour's Future Competitions Committee, Tiger has been logging hours upon hours of meetings aimed at overhauling the tour's entire schedule and competitive model. The goal is ambitious:
create more scarcity by potentially reducing the schedule to as few as 20 events, starting after the Super Bowl and moving prestigious tournaments like Pebble Beach and Riviera to later in the year. The changes could be implemented as soon as 2027, though Woods was realistic about the timeline. We would like to have it happen in 2027. We may have to roll it out over a couple-year period. We may not be able to implement all of it in 2027, but there will definitely be parts of it integrated or changed than from what it is now in 26 into 27. This isn't just tinkering around the edges. This is a fundamental reimagining of how the PGA Tour operates. Fewer events, more competition for spots, a sharper focus on the game's biggest markets. It's the kind of structural change that will define professional golf for the next decade. It's trying to serve literally everyone, Woods acknowledged, recognizing the impossible task of pleasing players, sponsors, media partners, and fans simultaneously. On top of that, the PGA of America has asked Woods for his input on the 2027 Ryder Cup captaincy at Adair Manor in Ireland. It's a job he's long been expected to take, but the timing is complicated. They have asked me for my input on it, and I haven't made my decision yet, Woods admitted. His concern is characteristically selfless. Can he give Team USA the commitment it deserves while juggling his tour responsibilities? That's been driving me hours upon hours every day and trying to figure out if I can actually do our Team USA, and our players, and everyone that's going to be involved in the Ryder Cup, if I can do it justice with my time. Between the tour board, the player meetings, and his own grueling recovery, Tiger is stretched thinner than ever. But he's still showing up, just not where fans expect him. The man hasn't disappeared, he's just changed arenas.
So let's answer the question directly. What really happened to Tiger Woods? The truth is both simpler and more complicated than any headline can capture. Tiger didn't disappear. He didn't vanish. He didn't abandon the game he's given his life to. He's been fighting his body, fighting for the future of the tour he helped build, fighting to find a version of himself that can still compete at the highest level. The Genesis Invitational came and went without him in the field, but behind the scenes, he was working. The board meetings continued, the recovery continued, the quiet, grinding work of being Tiger Woods at 50 continued. The Masters is now the target. April 9 through 12 at Augusta National, a course that holds more meaning for him than any other. 5 green jackets, the 2019 miracle, 24 consecutive cuts made. If there's any place where Tiger could pull off one more impossible comeback, it's there. But here's the hard truth that fans don't want to hear. The odds are against it. He hasn't played a competitive round since July 2024. 7 back surgeries, a ruptured Achilles, a disc replacement at 50. The body that once seemed invincible has been reduced to a daily negotiation with pain and limitation. When he said, "I'm trying" about the Masters, he meant it. He's putting in the work. He's hitting full shots. Not well every day, but enough to keep the dream alive. But trying isn't the same as playing, and playing isn't the same as competing. Tiger knows this better than anyone. He's been through this cycle more times than any athlete should have to endure. The hope, the recovery, the setback, the hope again. Each time the gap between where he is and where he needs to be feels a little wider. The Champions Tour is always an option. At 50, he's now eligible for senior events, where players are allowed to ride in carts, an accommodation he's made clear he'd never accept on the regular tour. That's certainly an opportunity, he acknowledged, but Augusta is different. Augusta is where legends are made, and Tiger Woods isn't done being legendary yet. So what really happened? The same thing that's been happening for the last decade. A legend fighting against time, against biology, against every force that says he should stop. He's not gone. He's just waiting for his body to cooperate, waiting for the pain to subside, waiting for one more chance to feel that electric charge of competition. When he's ready, he'll tell us. Until then, we have one word to hold on to. No. The Masters is not off the table.
And as long as that's true, the golf world will keep watching, keep hoping, keep believing in miracles. Because if anyone can pull off one more, it's Tiger Woods. For more coverage of Tiger Woods and the biggest stories in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.